Within the first month or two of my call taking on my own, we had probably one of the most difficult calls I've taken, where I had a young child, I believe he was 8 or 9 years old, calling, saying that his father had stabbed his mother several times and she was on the floor bleeding and not moving. They had just moved to that address. He didn't know where he lived. The dad had run off. We have our GPS mapping tools, but they only go so far. They only show a certain proximity, and when it's in a big apartment building, that's not always helpful. Several officers en route looking for them, couldn't find where they were. He started asking me, as time went on in the call, how he knew if it was too late for his mother, if she was already dying or dead. And I tried to get him not to focus on that, but just kept hearing him call out to his mom, and that was really heart-wrenching. Eventually, the officers were close, they just didn't know exactly where to go, so I asked if he could run downstairs and wave him down, and he mentioned he would send his little brother to do that. And when I asked for a description, he just said, well, he'll be covered in blood, because he was hugging his mom. And after they got there and I got off the phone, I had to go over to the radio side of things and listen to how it was playing out. And thankfully it was the end of my shift, so I was allowed to do so. And just hearing the officer say she'd been stabbed several dozen times and there were a couple of other kids in the home too that I didn't know about was just really hard to hear. So usually when there's an extremely intense call like that, they will do a debriefing. And we kind of discussed some of the things that I could have done differently, but what I really appreciated from that meeting was the entire time they were always asking me, how are you doing? How are you handling it? Don't forget you have peer support. Don't forget you have this. They weren't just focused on telling me what I could have done differently or better. They were really focused on making sure I handled it well and had what I needed to deal with the trauma of it.